This is the traditional way of drinking it in South America, particularly in Argentina, Paraguay, and Brazil. This is called a gourd, and this is a metal straw bombilla. And basically, you put the herb, the mate herb, inside this cup, and then you pour some hot water, and you sip it. And then you basically pour it again, and you share it with your guests. It represents hospitality, no? It represents friendship, and it represents a way to generate dialogue. Like you said, here in Argentina, in Brazil, they drink it 7 times more than coffee, no? So in the United States, practically nobody knows what yerba mate is. I went to school in California. I'm a food science major, and I would take mate with me to class. And everybody would just look at this traditional way of drinking and say, oh, you can't smoke in class, you can't get high here, you can just go outside. And I said, well, I'm not getting high. This is, well, in a way I am, but this is a legal, traditional tea from South America. It's something that's a national drink for us in Argentina. It's very healthy. So I would start to tell the story about, the cultural experience that we have with mate, and also the health benefits. Of course, as a food scientist, I was getting into, knowing more how food is made. And little by little, people in the United States became interested, in this beverage that, it seems to be like a healthy alternative to coffee, maybe. So they started to experiment it, and they started to like it. And one thing led to the other, and that's how I started the business at school. It's a university project. Well, first of all, is creating the awareness of what yerba mate is, of course, because people don't really know what it is. So we had to, in a way, create the category in the beverage industry. So we were the first ones in the United States market to create the yerba mate category within the beverage industry. From 10 years down the road, we basically started to create more awareness about how the mate is grown, the social impact, the environmental impact behind the business model, which is very interesting to most people as well. Just to be consuming a product that is organic, that's healthy, that's fair trade, that's also benefiting the communities that are growing it. So then people become to be more interested on the social and environmental mission behind the product. Well, basically, Guayaquil, back in 1996, when we started it together with David Carr, with an American friend, we decided to create a new business model, where our objective would be to restore ecosystems and to generate a sense of community in the indigenous communities that grow the mate in Argentina, Paraguay, and Brazil. No? So the means to that would be the market force behind the demand of yerba mate. So we had to create the demand first in order to then be able to have an impact on the communities and in the ecosystems that yerba mate grows. And then the social side, that's what we call market-driven restoration. No? So it's restoring the sense of communities and restoring ecosystems through the market forces. And that's how then, with the different indigenous communities and small farmers that live in the Atlantic forest, which is the ecoregion where mate is grown, we started to restore watersheds. We started to restore the native tree species and to grow the yerba mate below the rainforest canopy. And that way we'll create biological corridors among the last remnants of forest. It would also generate income to the communities and empower them and get them out of more the vicious cycle of dependency from government aid, for example. So that's what we call market-driven restoration. It's restoring healthy communities and it's restoring ecosystems.